of sexual harassment. More can be done, not just at entry level jobs. I think we need to do more right from the grassroots. The problem is actually from the grassroots. As I already said, you find young girls shrinking their abilities. You find young girls, she knows she's pregnant, but for example, some of the cultures where we come from, you know that when she reaches 15, 16, her parents may marry her off. She's like, so why am I dying? Why am I killing myself? When in a few years, my parents might ship me off. So I feel like even the companies, governments, NGOs, and whatever, it's good, but let us start from, from the root cause of the problem.
Okay.
So, simple things like providing menstruation kits in schools. Let me tell you, this will make women and girls go to school more comfortably. I think Botswana and New Zealand, thank you guys, all the leaders in those countries, they made menstrual kits and things free. Remember that quote where they say sex is a choice, menstruation is not? Can you imagine? Condoms are everywhere and they're free. At least in like universities and I don't know where projects, condoms are distributed freely. Having sex is a choice. Menstruation, today you'll not say, for June and August, I think I do not want this period to come.
I know, right?
There's nothing you can do about it. So how about we reverse that? You know? Oh, okay, maybe not reverse it, but how about we have more sanitary towels for the women? How about we have more women coming in to tell young girls, mentorship is very, very important. And I'm glad to be, part of a mentorship circle, G4G, and they're doing very wonderful work. And I hope other mentors can come on board. Wherever, it doesn't have to be G4G, but wherever you are, mentor girls. And also, our leaders can try to find out the root causes again. I'll give an example. A few years back, I read about, I think it was a member of parliament in Kenya. So he realized the girls in his county were being, they were not going to school. They go to school after maybe like 6 years, they drop off. So he asked the parents, why don't you want to take your kids to school? It's like, the parents were like, but for us, we need the money, so these girls, we can, exchange them for cattle and stuff. So what the guy did, he told them, okay, so for this your daughter, how many cows do you want? So
That's funny.
he gave them the cows, and the girls continued with school. That was the deal they brokered. So government can also look into things like this. I feel like these are very, like, when you look at the whole body of works of government and the income that they have and the NGOs and all these things that are here to help with development, some of these things I think are really simple. Talk to the communities and find out why their girls are not doing as well. Do simple things like this. I think after some time that county had more girls going to school. In the case of UG, again, this diversity and inclusion thing is good. In UG, we have the 1.5 extra points for girls going to the university.
Okay.
And I think many of the women, for example, in my age group, we have all benefited from it. And it started, as something to help women get more into the STEM related courses. But also when you think about it, we do suffer a lot.
We do.
If someone has never had cramps, you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
You need those extra, because people take off like 5 days from school and they can't go to school because of cramps. They have missed 5 days of knowledge. Some girls have to first do housework before they go to school. They miss hours upon hours every year, you know. So 1.5, I feel it's good. There are some people who are against it, but on the whole, I think it's a good idea to help women, uh, get into these STEM courses. But it's good, but as I said, let us start from the grassroots because that is where the problem starts. I mean, we have 1,000 people getting into primary, like say 1,000 girls. By secondary school, it's like 700. By university, it's 400,
I think that's why this podcast is actually important because we try to bring out some issues, some things that are happening in the world right now. So yeah, we are doing a little bit of our part.
Yes,
But
we
like
are.
I said, we need to do more in whatever way we can. So I wanted to ask basically for the last point, like have you ever experienced inequality in your field currently what you're working on? And do you think the male gender also experience some sort of inequality? Like is there some fairness with women being in STEM? Like
Well, as long as the patriarchy still stands, inequalities will always be there. And I have first a number of inequalities. Some of them I think about them and I'm like, oh my God, you know? So first, this one may not just be because I'm a woman, but tribalism.
Okay.
Tribalism. I don't know about your country, but yeah, I went for an interview and this guy looked at me and he told me, uh, let's meet in the evening to discuss this further. And I was
Interesting.
like, why? I mean, the interview is now. He's like, no, I know women from your tribe can, you can negotiate using other methods.
Oh
I was
my
like,
god, that is so insulting.
hey, I didn't even know what to think. I didn't know what to say. I was like, okay, thank you very much. I will wait for your call. I got up and left. I remember walking like a zombie to my cousin's office and I reached and I broke down and cried.
Oh my god.
I just cried. I was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I was like, this guy, you know? I was like, my
I
goodness.
mean, Africa, we need to do better. Like,
It's
come
like
on.
just because of the tongue I speak, you think I'm a loose woman? No. Whatever the stereotype is, that was
Mm-mm.
completely unfair of him to think that whatever he's heard about women
Mm-hmm.
will apply to every woman he meets. So that was one. Of course, there's been other discriminations. Now, this one, that is being a woman and being from that particular tribe, but there's also
Mm-hmm.
discrimination of tribe whereby you go to some, companies, you go to some ministries, and they will
Mm-hmm.
not hire you because you're not from a particular tribe, unfortunately. Then the other things that we can't really run away from,
Mm-hmm.
when the Me Too movement began, sexual abuse, sexual harassment has been going on for, I think, as long as the earth
Yeah,
has
yeah.
been going on. Well, I'll say I've not been a victim of sexual abuse,
Mm-hmm.
but I have been a victim of sexual harassment, you know.
Wow.
Uh, I remember going to someone's office. They had told me, you go talk to this guy, and by the way, he's a big guy. These days he works somewhere in the ministry. And I remember when I saw his appointment, I was mad. I was furious. I was boiling, you know. Anyway, we shall not be naming and shaming people today.
True,
But
true.
so I went to his office and I respected this guy a lot. I didn't know much about him, but I figured by the time you're in a certain position, you
Mm-hmm.
are of a certain caliber, you are of a
Yeah.
certain character. So
Mm-hmm.
I went, we were talking, and he was like, okay, have a seat. So tell me why you're here. So I started telling him, I took out my CV. I told, I was trying to sell my abilities. I am good for this. I am good for this organization. So I was like, oh, okay, I see. So he was seated across the table from me.
Mm-hmm.
So he
Mm-hmm.
walked and came and stood behind me. Well, me, I thought he was going to, I don't know, get something from, because there were cabinets behind me. Then
Oh
he
my
started,
God.
fondling my back and I was like, what is happening here? He's like, go on, tell me more. It's like, what? I'd heard about these stories, but it's a different feeling when you are in that
You.
position.
Oh my God. I'm
I
so
was,
sorry, girl.
I was,
What?
I was like, oh my God, this is happening. This is happening. After that, when the conversation ended, I got my stuff, I walked out, and I didn't go back to his office ever, ever. You know,
Mm. I
and
mean, dang.
for these things, we really don't have anywhere to report. First of all, you don't even have evidence, right?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
happened? It's your word against him.
Him. True, true.
It's not like there are cameras that you guys, no, you check the recording. There are no cameras, you see. So women, for the longest time, I think women in STEM, we
Mm-hmm.
have really suffered a lot of sexual abuse and sexual harassment. I think
Mm-hmm.
recently there's some big companies in the news where women have come out and they've said, I have been harassed. And these are really huge international companies. And you're like, hey, they also do these things in those companies, right?
Companies. Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the inequalities that we face. And also, I think, as you said, sometimes in some fields, women have to work at night, women have to
Mm-hmm.
work longer hours, so you go home at night. We need
Mm-hmm.
protection as women.
We do, most definitely. I mean, we need to protect the women. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. Um, Me personally, I've never gone through sexual harassment from anyone while work. I think most companies they actually have these laws and rules that you cannot sexually harass anyone.
Protection.
For me, what inequality I feel is like I have heard a lot of people saying that men are paid more than women in the same role. So that's just something. Although I don't have any proof of that, I don't know what others are earning, but that's something I've heard of. And usually, when I do check online and I check some other countries and I check like what's the rate of payment, they usually have a separate pay field for men and women. That I don't kind of understand, even though it's the same role. Um, I am I am not a feminist. I'm not with the feminist movement, but I believe in having rights as a woman, giving the woman the rights that she has. And if a woman does the same job, why not give her the
They
same
have the
pay?
same amount of
Yes,
money.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that's just one thing, and change, I guess. Um, with regards to inequality, I feel, for example, sometimes a male colleague wants to do a physical task for me. I don't object. I'm like, okay, fine, if you want to do it. I know I
You
can
do
still
you.
do it. Yes, I can still do it, but I accept the rules. I accept that I'm a woman. It's fine.
Mm.
And yeah, I think those are the only things I feel about inequality. Just them. But I feel like it's actually time for women to be hired in these positions if they have the ability, of course. So
So,
yeah, those
mm.
yeah. Those are my
So,
points basically with regards to
mm.
experiencing inequality.
I think again that goes back to what I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We need to educate the men that women being hired is not women coming to take their jobs.
True,
You know,
true.
women, we are 50% of the population. You know, if we are not working, if we are not contributing, you are losing almost 50% of the ability.
Yeah.
You are losing 50% of the economy. So, women being given, being helped to move up in
Mm-hmm.
corporate ladders, being helped in business, being helped wherever, is not here to to get men out of work. If
True.
anything, we're increasing the economic pie, you know. And once you increase the economic pie, that means there's more salaries, more bonuses.
Yeah.
I mean, your children, your
Mm-hmm.
children will grow up more confident. Many, when you look at McKinsey, reports from McKinsey, when you look at so many other different reports from all these international organizations, you will see
Mm-hmm.
that companies that have more women,
Mm-hmm.
their bottom line exponentially increases. I'll give an example. COVID has been here since 2020,
Yeah.
but one of the biggest banks in Uganda, Stanbic Bank, they had a lady, Miss Anjuko. They had a lady as the CE, and
Mm-hmm.
she's been, trying to bring more women on board and in all these places. Let me tell you, their bottom line was increased much more in 2020, while all other companies, similar companies, their bottom lines were decreasing because of the pandemic. What does that tell you? Women in positions of power, women in leadership is good for everyone, even the men. So those men need to get educated. In a nutshell, what are some of the things, for women to encourage them? What are some of the things? What would you tell a young girl out there? What would you tell someone hiring women? How can we increase women in STEM? What
I
are
mean,
some
like
ways?
you mentioned, we start from the grassroots, yeah, from the education, like primary level, telling women that okay, it's all right if you have this particular dream that you want to be this particular person. It's okay, you can do it. It's possible, and the tools are out there. And the tools, what I mean by the tools, like the government is helping, the parents are helping to
Correct.
encourage these kids. Also having mentorship, letting kids be in organizations that help them speak out, and
I
also
agree.
improve, speak out, improve their abilities and the skills. That's something that we can start from. I think that's the best thing that you can start from. I thank myself and my family and my mom for actually taking me to one of the best schools, helping me, allowing me to join organizations where I have to speak out for myself. This
Mm-hmm.
actually helps with regards to building my self-confidence,
Confidence.
self-esteem, and wanting to actually go towards what I want to do. That's brought me here in Japan, studying STEM and working in STEM environment. So yes.
And just to add on to that, I think
Hmm.
the women who are out there and making it in STEP, speak out, tell us your stories. We need to hear from you. We need to learn
Sure.
from you. Because when you do the Google search, there's more men coming up, which is not a bad thing, but more
Hmm.
women also need to come up. And
Hmm.
also the men, we need you on board.
Hmm.
We really need you on board to help us move
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
We are
most
not
definitely.
enemies on this. We are
Hmm.
allies.
All right, so I guess this brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you all for listening. I hope you got something from this particular episode. We were talking about women in STEM, how us Black women felt about working in these areas. What are the advantages and disadvantages, and mainly challenges, basically. So see you in another episode, and thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow us. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.